What up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another podcast video. This is the wrestling news video on November 9th, 2024, where we're going to be talking about the wildest and intriguing news stories, rumors that you Assassinators need to know from the Wrestling Inc. article. And we're going to start things off with some very intriguing news indeed. And it's finally I heard the announcement from last night on. It has something to do with the announcement last night on Raw with the latest addition in the women's division, which is the SmackDown GM. Nick Aldis announcing the new Women's United States Championship. With the rumors turning to be true, at the end of the month, we will be seeing the women's mid-card championships in WWE. And as previously reported, WWE SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis revealed a new women's mid-card title on Friday's episode. And the belt will be the Women's United States Championship. Aldis made the announcement in a pre-recorded video and said the title won't just be awarded or handed over. It will be earned. Aldis said the championship will be rewarded to whoever is willing to be above, beyond, and seize the moment. He told the roster that opportunity knocks and it's time to answer and make history. Aldis did not reveal specifics about how the title will be won. However, he didn't say if there would be a tournament culminating at an upcoming premium live event or a battle royal on SmackDown. It also wasn't clear if championship would be exclusively to SmackDown, or if the belt or if the or the if the belt will float between both brands, the women's tag team championships outside of the women's crown jewel championship won by Liv Morgan in Saudi Arabia. The last women's championship to be announced in WWE was the NXT Women's North American Championship, which was won by Kalani Jordan in NXT Battleground June in a ladder match. And do you think that's going to end up in the same manner? We're going to be seeing the first Women's United States Championship will be crowned in the ladder. Will be crowned at the end of the ladder match or battle royal, or do you think it's going to be in the tournament? Which I prefer it should be on the tournament, and this should be SmackDown exclusive. And then we can see Adam Pearce doing the same, on Raw, by introducing a Women's Intercontinental Championship, and also throw in a Women's World Tag Team Championships on top of that. But what are your thoughts on that matter? Do you think this should happen? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But moving on forward, we got Dave Meltzer breaks down the speculations on who won the Wednesday night ratings performance in this past Wednesday. AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT went head to head one more time at the WWE brand shifted its show to Wednesday in light of the US presidential election and took the opportunity to air a special ECW themed episode. Unfortunately for AEW fans, their show ended up losing the battle in terms of viewership. And in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer attempted to answer why this happened. He he uh, he explains or no, he noted Meltzer noted that the show were hurt by all the news coming out the day after the election, in the Golden State Warriors versus the Boston Celtics NBA game, and AEW Dynamite did its second uh, lowest Wednesday in its history at 523,000 viewers within zero point 0.16 in 216 thousand viewers in the 18 to 49 demo and an identical 0.10 in 18 to 34. like Meltzer wrote he further declared that AEW should have won due to having the advantage of being in its regular slot, but that NXT haven't having a special event gave them a strong showing, while Dynamite just had a normal show. Meltzer, however, noted that NXT had the broadcast network advantage in this cage. Again, emphasizing how NXT advertising as a special show ended up making the difference. He He explains, in the end, both were hurt by the other. NXT would have likely done better with the themed, and AEW would have been down from usual with the heavy news in sports. AEW should not have lost on their night in the 18 to 49. Like while he pointed out to the negative stigma against AEW, explaining that the promotion needs to change how they use star power, and that they are currently in a rebuilding phase. Dave Meltzer also noted that great matches won't be able to save AEW. Like they badly need a promotion and PR makeover, or they could become early 90s WCW. What are your thoughts on to and what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on I opened it. Not now, Birdie Bird. Wait until later. No. Oh my. I was telling Emily. You gotta bake them. Don't bother. Ever have one of those days? But anyways, Assassinators. But what are your thoughts on Dave Meltzer's opinion about the who won this ratings battle, which he assumed that it was NXT? And do you think NXT truly did won this ratings battle on Wednesday? And given that it had to move it on Wednesdays due to the presidential election and on Tuesday, do you think them moving to Wednesday was the best at the moment was the best decision that WWE has ever made? Let me know in the comment section right down below. I think they sure did, in a way, with me watching both shows and reviewing both shows in the same night, which I in a year over a year, but at the same time, it was on the Tuesday, not on the Wednesday, like I would like it to be. But hopefully, there's gonna be some plans for NXT to move back on the middle day of the week. But Let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about Dave Meltzer explains like why New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom main event is the weakest in recent memory. And the main event of NJPW's biggest.
So you don't so can cut this
Yeah.
so you're adult, don't you?
Yeah. Come on. Anyways, Assassinator. The main event of NJPW's biggest show of the year is Wrestle Kingdom 19 on January 4th, 2025, has officially been confirmed as Zack Sabre Jr. will defend the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Shota Umino. However, the hype around the match doesn't seem to be a high compared to previous years. And in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer broke down why he believes the upcoming main event is the weakest NJPW has ever booked in some time. Meltzer admitted that the match does make sense from a matchmaking perspective as Umino defeated Saber in the 2024 G1 climax.
Mommy,
Okay,
I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared.
here we go. Don't forget the scissors
Oh,
and make sure to put them right in a safe place.
I did.
Okay, but anyways, yeah, I get from a match viewing point, like it says right here that it's in a perspective, Umino defeated Sabre in the 2024 G1 Climax tournament, but from a business perspective, the match is a huge risk for the champion. Meltzer believes that he is a great wrestler, but hasn't fully proven himself as a draw in New Japan Pro Wrestling. While Umino defeated Saber. And while what am I looking at? It's this while Umino is one of the next generation of stars, the company is looking to get over with the fans. But Meltzer simply doesn't believe that Umino is ready for such a big shot on the card. And speaking of a fans' question on that, Dave Meltzer immediately replied this in the matter that NJPW fans have started to turn on Umino for being pushed too heavily, and ahead of stars some believe are more deserving. The boos that he received when he challenged Saber to a title match weren't as severe as the ones he received at NJPW's two previous major events. Like like but Meltzer claimed they were more groans than boos, which at times can be even worse. Overall, Meltzer understood why the match was made, but considering NJPW's is at a low point when it comes to a popularity. He questioned why the company didn't go for a bigger or more mainstream name with more drawing power, to headline their biggest show of the year for their most coveted prize. And what are your thoughts on to the explanation? Why why did we see Shota Umino getting a shot at the the IWGP World Championship. And do you agree with these New Japan fans? Like, and Shota Umino like is not ready for a shot at the IWGP Gold, or do you think he's more than ready and he's the next rising star in all the professional wrestling, most specifically in JPW, of course. And and do you think that he should gain the title and be the one to dethrone Zack Sabre Jr., or do you think Zack should retain the title? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But either way, I hope we do see like some kind of a turnaround here. Like, but it seems like you're not gonna. It don't seem like you're gonna convince the New Japan fans. And I want to ask you this question. But yeah, here you go. You actually did great job, Birdie. But anyways, but but yeah, but do you think like this is the only issue of NJPW's having right now as the main event of their Wrestle Kingdom match? Or do you think or do you think they have more problems and not just saying anything, and they're they're doing all good in the? And do you agree with Dave Meltzer? This was a good idea when it comes to storyline perspective, or do you think that they shouldn't have did that even if the story did make sense? Like, yeah, considering that Shota Umino may not be ready for a shot at the Big Gold Championship of Japan in the Tokyo based promotion, but give me your opinions down below. I'm not really much of a what's called a New Japan fan, like a hardcore one, but I do watch the highlights and they do really cool stuff over there. Like, maybe I should start watching more of it. Maybe if I see some recognizable names, maybe that will convince me to watch it. Just like other companies that I watch, like what if it was like a TNA or AEW, or name any other promotions that I watch. Maybe some NWAs and Major League Wrestling stuff. But that's only like I watched it like a few times. Like, I haven't watched it on a weekly basis like I do with WWE and AEW. But I'm gonna move on to the next news, which involves the WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam talks bridging a gap between wrestling eras. One of the most talked about subjects in pro wrestling, regardless of the era, is how much the profession has evolved and changed over the years. Usually, this discussion is reflected in those like from the older generation, suggesting things you used to be better in their day, while more modern fans like wrestlers I believe wrestling was right to evolve. Then there's Rob Van Dam, like who doesn't like appear to be all that interested in either argument. Like, and that was at least the case during his most recent episode of the 100 One of a Kind podcast, where RVD stayed away from the discord. Like, instead, like he focused more on the differences between the eras. Po- particular, particularly like in how wrestlers are now smaller than they were like before, uh, and how RVD believes he helped contribute to that. This is what he had to say on the matter. Like, the whole average weight like of the wrestler back then was higher. Like, when wrestlers looked at a certain way, like when the wrestlers were at the bar, like they were the big dudes, like that you don't want to mess with, and like that's how they used to sell tickets, by being freaks, like, and standing out and now like a lot of the wrestlers look like regular people when their clothes are on. Like they could be on the bus, like the city bus, with a hat and jacket on, and look just like anybody else. And part of that is because the style has changed so much. Like I helped bridge that gap with the physical style, and 400 pounds guys I aren't going to be able to do all the same moves. And if they come who's going to want to lay there for your 450 off the top, for I mean 450, who's gonna do your 450 off the top. I fudge unsweetened chocolate kiwi kale that but because it's so much more athletic like now, you have to be in such a better condition. You also have to be smaller than you used to be. And what are your thoughts on RVD's opinions about like the different eras, like with them, like with him, like I'll say not comparing it, but like what's that word? Like showing the differences, like with using an example out of like older wrestlers like that, well, dressed up like anybody else, like a normal person, you would hardly recognize them if you didn't see their face, like because they're wearing their different clothes, not wearing their wrestling gear like they would normally wear when they're inside that squared circle. But but yeah, do you agree with Rob Van Dam like in these capacities, like that he's revelating, like and if so, like do you think that everybody else should take advice from the whole flipping show of Rob Van Dam? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I sure think they should do, like, because like I don't think there should be any like conflicts or discord, like which era is better. Like even though we all know like the best wrestling era like of all time was the Attitude Era for sure. But like I'm not sure we should continue to keep on with these conflicts and comparisons, because we all know it. Like we all know it, and plus like we should just accept the fact that we had like these eras like in professional wrestling, and they were a part of our fanhood, I guess you could say. Like in like, but yeah, and you should be looking at the positives, like with with the likes with the likes of the what's in the new era of the Renaissance era and the PG era, or the ruthless aggression era, the attitude era, golden era, new age, or the new age era, then the golden era. Let me rephrase that. But but yeah, right. I don't think there should be no more of a like what's the better wrestling era, which we already been to that road, and also like well we should be enjoying what's on now's era, like with in wrestling. But let's move on to the next slide. We got AEW's Lance Archer explains why he defends like WWE's unpopular ECW reboot. Though like he's best known for his AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling runs, Lance Archer previously had a stretch as a WWE wrestler in 2009 and 2010, performing under the Vance Archer name. His time with the company was brief, but like Archer like was a part of WWE's short-lived version of ECW. Speaking on his podcast, The Hawk's Nest, Archer explained like why he looks back on WWE's ECW more fondly than most fans would, and he explains ECW was a great starting point like for a lot of guys. like everybody like, oh, like that's not the original ECW. It's WWE's ECW. It's PG ECW. Blah blah blah. But if you look back at it, like that's where. Okay, okay, like that's like that, like blah blah blah. But if you look back like at it, like that's where CM Punk got his start in the company. Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, guys like this all like start like on the ECW product.
I won't hurt myself.
Okay, you won't. Just just do it. But let's continue.
I actually did it.
Can you taste it? Okay, I'm a.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you. But no, I got there.
But anyways, Assassinators. The original NXT was more of a reality type of game show, like, and they were telling us about it, like, and they were putting over like how great NXT was gonna be at the time, which didn't involve any of us, like our like yeah, like so we were just like, yeah, okay, like that's great, like, but we're all kind of like what about us, like, in question. After WWE shuttered the ECW brand, Archer was informed that he'd be moved to WWE SmackDown. Like his run on the brand began like in the spring of 2010 and lasted until was he was released near the end of that year. And he continued like, oh no, I continued. I don't think he continued. My mistake, but. Well, yeah. What are your thoughts on to Lance Archer's opinion about Lance Archer's opinion about? I mean, what's your Lance Archer's opinion about the rebranded ECW and looking at it in a positive way by looking at like that's where he and CM Punk, Sheamus, and Kofi Kingston got their start in WWE in the first place, and do you think that WWE like did the right thing of ending it and it was not doing no favors, or do you think they should have did anything to to do some upgrading on the brand and make it more better than they were doing in the first place? And maybe add in some tag team belts and mid card belt, which is the TV championship, and even the women's championship, like they're finally like they're doing with NXT, like they have been doing for the last decade over on NXT by making it an extra roster from WWE. Well, let me know down in the comment section right down below. I think I'm gonna look. If you look at it in a positive way, that's you gotta admit that's where CM Punk and him and Sheamus and yeah, Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, and others like got their break from, like all thanks to ECW being there. Like like a little bit of a developmental system, like with them getting their start in WWE in the first place. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys to have y'all's opinions on what you think. What do y'all? But yeah, moving on forward, we got it says right here we got dirty Dominic Mysterio details, like text like from Randy Orton that sent him like in a from following his WWE heel turn. Many in the pro wrestling business were surprised by Dominic Mysterio's uh, ma- materialistic rise, like as a heel in WWE. But the Judgment Day star like has had the privilege of learning from some of the best in the business, including a certain Randy Orton. Mysterio turned at Mysterio turned heel at Clash of the Castle in 2022, and has not looked back since. Like, uh, 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 elect, uh, electing loud reactions from the crowd and becoming one of the most hated heels in the business during a recent conversation with bootleg Kev. like he revealed a message he received from Orton after he turned heel, and he mentioned, I think it's definitely changed, has my career has changed my career, has evolved, when evolved, in the moment top, of my mind. I can think of Randy Orton has always been there as far as texting me. Even before he came back, he would always text me. I remember when I turned on my dad, he was one of the first people to text me, hell yeah, enjoyed the ride, kid. Mysterio also added that he took inspiration from Orton, especially his run in 2009. Well, I'm not sure if that's really the case. If that was the case, he would be attacking. No, I cannot say it. I'm not sure if I should say it right now. I would say he's not exactly like the heel Randy Orton back in 2009. The heel Randy Orton in 2009 was phenomenal. Like he he didn't give no cares about what anybody said, what he did in his time, when it comes to punt kicking and doing the RKO on certain individuals in the company of WWE. Yeah, he didn't give no cares. But Dirty Dominic, it seemed like he had a limited about that. The only thing he was caring about is beating up his deadbeat dad, which Randy Orton did not just do stuff like that. He was actually attacking everybody that was in WWE. Nobody wasn't safe when the Viper was there. But anyways, let's continue. After the Judgment Day star, first turned heel, he also revealed other sources of inspiration, when he began his heel run, where the likes of Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and Chris Jericho, his his on-screen partner Liv Morgan, who was also on the podcast with him, revealed that not many people helped her when she first joined the company, but that that changed after she got to know the people